Questa volta abbiamo un grande ospite che conosciamo tutti nel mondo dei Queen e diamo il benvenuto a tutti a Rudy Dolezal. Ciao Rudy,
Hello, hello.
ciao Rudy, ciao. Sono qui insieme a Veronica May. Ciao, vero?
Ciao.
Rudy, come stai?
Hello, nice to meet. Bella Italia, bella Italia.
Ciao Rudy. Allora, adesso ti faremo un'intervista e
Dopo.
parleremo anche un po' del tuo nuovo libro, così ci darai qualche informazione.
Okay, so would you like Rudy to tell us about, something about your new book, the My Friend Freddie
hmm
book?
hmm Okay, the book is called My Friend Freddie. It has 300 pages, 30 chapters, and many, many untold stories.
Hmm.
So let me first say something, especially for the Italian fans,
Oh,
and also for the Italian fans who pre-ordered my book. The Italian version is now almost finished. I gave Maurizio a copy up front to be able to read it in.
yeah.
So many Italian fans pre-ordered my book some time ago. It is already, sometimes a few years ago, and some of them are still waiting. I want to guarantee everybody will get the book. If you look of how I'm signing this, it takes a lot of time. I'm making also, love and respect and hearts and all that. So every book I sign takes time, and also the publishers, which I thought will send out the books, they are not doing it. So I have to do it with a very small team of volunteers who are Queen fans or Rudy fans. So I want to apologize to all the Italian fans who don't have the book yet, but I wanted to wait until the Italian version is out, because the idea that I sent Italian pre-orders an English book, I didn't do, because I found out that not a lot of people in Italy speak English that well. Yeah. So I want to explain why this is a delay, and please, please be sure everybody who pre-ordered the book will get the book. Number one. Number two, the book comes now out, the Italian version, in a very big publishing house called Sperling. Very soon, Sperling will also publicize the exact release date this year, but this is not in my hands. So please watch the news and everything. So back to your question, the book. Freddie was a good friend. First, we were colleagues. I had the privilege of directing 32 Queen videos. And First, we were working companions, and then a friendship developed. And I explain in this book, first of all, how you become the video director of Queen and Freddie. And I tell many, many untold stories. 80% of what is in the book I haven't told before. So it's really something very, very special. I always say it's not a Freddie Mercury book, it's the Freddie Mercury book, because it shows the human being behind the star. It's not a biography. It's out. This is already existing. Yeah, it is my story, of a 17, 18-year-old young boy who went out in the world and wanted to become the best video director in the world. And then, ended up with people like Freddie Mercury, who opened me the door for the Champions League of music video making. And we did some really outstanding work together.
Ok,
okay.
Rudy. Allora, la seconda domanda, Rudy, è la pubblicazione ha richiesto più tempo del previsto?
Okay, so the second question is, it's always about the book. Did it take longer than expected to publish it?
Yes, because in the beginning, I was sort of fooled by a book management company who promised me that they will release it worldwide at the same time. And I was believing them, and I was focusing on the creative process. And when the book was finished, I found out that they couldn't deliver what they were promising. So I have now different publishers in different countries, and it took much longer. I'm not so experienced in the book world, and like the Rolling Stones, they were also fucked by their first manager. This was something that I didn't expect, but I learned from Freddie Mercury that you have to wait until it's absolutely like you want it. Some publishing houses would have published it for a lot of money, but they wanted to change the title, they wanted to change the pictures, they wanted to rewrite some of the stuff. And I said, no, Freddie Mercury was teaching me, never try to be second best and always do what you think is best. And therefore it took longer than I expected. Again, I apologize, but everybody who will get the book will not be disappointed. And don't forget, the people who pre-ordered are getting the book. You cannot pre-order anymore. It's long finished, but there is quite a lot of Italian people who pre-ordered. They will get the book for half price. They don't pay for the shipping, and they have a lot of extras like friendship certificate and special cards, etc. So it's more a fan VIP package.
Oh.
Ok, Rudy, ma quindi a questo punto mi viene da chiedere quando uscirà in Italia il libro in italiano.
Yeah, at this point, the question is, you should expect the question, when will the book be available in Italy?
The Italian publishers in the moment say October this year.
Ah,
October.
ok, ok.
Yeah,
Soon.
but again, they have the right to decide this. I had to give them the right because they know Italy. I will also come to Italy physically to a few cities, and we'll do readings of the book. I hope I can do it in Italian. Yeah, because I don't speak Italian, but when I sort of learn it a little bit, because my reading shows are really something special. It's a Freddie Mercury experience. I also sit in the second half and say, you can ask me everything you always wanted to know about Freddie Mercury, and the audience loves that. Yeah. So I'm planning to do the big Italian cities soon. This will be if everything goes after plan, the publishing house Sperling decides this, I will be in Italy October, November, December also for a presentation. And everybody who pre-ordered and has this friendship certificate will get a meet and greet with me and a selfie and a backstage pass.
Oh.
So it's another bonus for those people, and thank you for the long waiting time.
Ok, perfetto. Ok, Rudy, hai scelto da solo come strutturare il libro o ti sei affidato a qualche specialista del settore?
Did you choose the book structure on your own, or did you ask some professionals for help?
No, I did it on my own. I mean, this is not the first book I was writing. I was writing books on Falco and on several Austrian and German superstars. No, I did it myself. It's basically it's like a diary a little bit. You only have to read the first 4 chapters in a row, and then you can pick out any of the chapters, and you don't need to have read the chapters before. So in other words, if you want to read about when Queen played for my 40th birthday party in Vienna and came from London especially to play for me, this is an own chapter which is back in the book. If you want to read how I say goodbye to Freddie or how I said goodbye, there's a different chapter. If you want to read about Freddie's last words, etc., etc. So I am a very lazy reader, so I don't like to have to read too much. So I wrote the book like for lazy readers like me, who only read a few chapters and then they can pick. And there's a lot of interesting photographs.
Ok. Ma quest'anno verrai a Montreux per promuovere il libro oppure no?
Will you be in Montreux this year to promote the book?
No, I will not.
No.
Ah, ok.
I have to say that I was in Montreux 2 years ago, and then I think that's enough. I will go to certain Queen fan club how do you say, events. I was invited to Japan, to Australia, to Poland, maybe to France. But see, the Montreux thing is a very how should I say? I am. This is a very closed thing, and I go there maybe every now and then, but not every year. I'm not a Queen fan. I'm somebody who had the privilege to work with Queen, so I don't see my place to be there every year. You know.
Ok, ok, Rudy. Va bene. Vorrei sapere se hai qualche materiale video inedito su Freddy o sui Queen negli ultimi anni, specialmente.
We would love to know if you have some rare video stuff about Freddie and Queen, which was showed it, during their last years.
Argomento, ecco, cambiamo argomento.
Yes, I still have quite a lot of unreleased footage. Partly I have to coordinate with Queen, Jim Beach to release it. Partly I own it. So, for example, the famous prostitute interview is something that I did. I'm just a musical prostitute, my dear. And also others. Also, the last ever interview that Freddie was in front of a camera. There is more footage, but especially the sensitive materials of the last years, I will not release without coordinating with Queen Productions, Jim Beach, and Brian and Roger, because it's very personal. See, also in the book, it's very difficult to write a book about a friend. I waited 25 years, but then I saw, and I'm exaggerating, I saw that every taxi driver that was taking Freddie once from one place to another, or every cleaning lady was writing books about Freddie. I'm exaggerating, but it was almost like that. And especially a lot of journalists who never met him, who never knew the real guy, and were writing absolutely bullshit. I mean, it starts with that in a lot of Freddie Mercury books before mine, people were showing a building in Zanzibar and saying, this is the house where Freddie Mercury was born. I was there for my award-winning documentary, Freddie Mercury, The Untold Story, which was awarded at the Grammys, which is the Oscar of pop music. And I found the last aunt and the last uncle of Freddie, and they showed me the real house. So somebody went there many years ago and was making a photo of just a house where somebody said, I think this is Freddie Mercury's house of the parents. And then everybody was repeating that mistake, because nobody took the effort like me, who actually go to Zanzibar and research it there. Like, I also went to India, and I was standing on the stage, which is only like this, where Freddie Mercury was singing for the first time in his life the song O Sole Mio when he was like 7 years old in school, and I restaged that situation. So I took much more effort, and I also had the privilege to work with Jim Beach for many years as my producer for documentaries that So I was able to get a lot of inside information, and therefore I thought, especially because a lot of fans were asking me, write a book, say something, and I realized, first of all, I think Freddie would like the book. Number two, because it's time. Number two, he has enough humor that the things that are in we can write. Number three, I knew what he wouldn't like, so I was avoiding certain things. For example, the last months of his life, I know that he he didn't want anybody to see in what condition he was, because he wanted everybody to remember him as the superstar and as the great, shining man. And on the other hand, I hear him every day. He was my mentor and I hear him, not real, but I have him in my consciousness when he says, you know, I wouldn't do this. I developed a feeling, and I think I know what he wants and what he, you know, would also like and don't like.
Perfetto. Vorrei chiederti il motivo per il quale ogni video ufficiale pubblicato ultimamente, specialmente negli ultimi periodi, viene migliorato semplicemente con qualche filtro invece che un restauro completo come fanno nei film. Stessa cosa per l'audio, che si accontentano di lo stereo e il surround dietro e basta. Grazie.
This is a kind of technical question. We were wondering, why is every official video which has been recently posted always polished with some filter instead of being completely remastered? And that means remastering the entire film. I mean, we noticed the same thing happened with the audio because it comes out as surround sound instead of 5 separate channels. Why is that?
E digli che sono fissato su queste cose io.
Maurizio is hyperfixated on this kind of thing, so that's why he wanted to know.
I know. Well, I can understand this. The thing is that, unfortunately, I was not involved in the remastering of the videos. I was offering it, and I was hoping, you know, as for the videos I directed, that I could do it. So I didn't have any influence on how it is done. You know, this was organized by Queen Productions, with people that they were choosing. And I was a little bit sad because it's my work, and I would have loved to, you know, to do it state of the art. But I cannot tell you anything about it because I was not involved.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, no, figurati. Ok. C'è stato qualche attrito con la band, magari per divergenza lavorativa?
Was there any fight with the band, maybe in terms of job discussions and stuff like that?
In terms of what?
Job, you know, job discussion. I mean, did you ever fight over job things, your work?
You mean filmmaking things, video?
Yeah, video, yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, the band, the band was, as I write in my book, My Friend Freddie, they were actually fighting quite a lot. But I was not fighting with them. I was just witnessing when they were fighting amongst each other. And what is so special about Freddie Mercury, and why I think he really needs, you know, actually in all the big cities, there should be monuments of Freddie Mercury. You know, one in Italy, one in Russia, etc. He was not the diva that you would expect, that, you know, he was the superstar and then the others felt that they, no. It was, Freddie was the peacemaker. Usually the fight was amongst the others. And Freddie was, you know, making peace and said, oh, we have to stop. So yes, they were fighting, but I was not fighting with them. In the beginning, I had too much respect. You know, it was a big honor for me to become director of Queen and favorite director of Freddie Mercury for many years. I was always saying my opinion, and sometimes we had, you know, strong opinions, but it was never a fight, you know, between me and the band. Not that I remember.
Ok, Rudy, ok. Allora, il video che hai girato con i Queen, no? Sono davvero emozionanti e ben realizzati. Ti va di raccontarci qualcosa di I'm Going Slutty Mad e Deserve a Day of Our Life?
So we know you filmed the famous videos with Queen, you know, and we would love to know if you would like to tell us something about the I'm Going Slightly Mad one and the These Are the Days of Our Lives one.
Yes, I'm happy to. Well, I'm going slightly mad. There is actually a few chapters in my book, My Friend Freddie. By the way, for those who have missed the pre-order campaign and now want a book that I have signed, you can go to my website, www.rudisworld.com, and you can order a book in any language signed by me. Just that you know, because many people say, "Oh, I didn't catch the pre-order thing," and this is now a year ago, and many people want signed books. So in the book, I have more than one chapter about I'm Going Slightly Mad, because the video concept changed. And it was actually very dramatic. I don't want to spoil people who buy the book, but it was very dramatic what the final concept was. And one thing that Queen fans, actually from Italy and Russia, made me aware of, everybody wanted to know, is Elton John the gorilla in I'm Going Slightly Mad?
I was about to
And
ask.
I'm revealing that in the book. But please understand that if I say it now, I'm spoiling everybody who has ordered the book and will get the book in the next weeks. So yes, you find this as an answer. There were also discussed David Bowie and Rod Stewart for the gorilla thing, but please read my book. And also at Innuendo, when Innuendo was out, I was called into the Montreux studio, Mountain Studio, by the band and Jim Beach. And I was presented with the fact that Freddie will not go in front of a camera anymore because of his illness. We in the inner circle, of course, knew. And then he changed his mind. This is why then videos came after that. And I'm Going Slightly Mad, for me, is the masterpiece of our collaboration. Freddie and I were sitting in his garden lodge house, many times. He was calling me back from a holiday from Africa. Before that, we have approved a different concept, which is interesting to know and read. And then we had this concept. So, and then we all thought, well, I'm Going Slightly Mad is going to be the last video. And then I was called, and Freddie said, because he was playing a role in I'm Going Slightly Mad. He was playing like the mad professor with the special hair and the makeup and so on. And he says, I don't want to be remembered as a comics figure. I want to have one last video where I'm just Freddie Mercury. And so Days of Our Lives were planned. For the first time, Jim Beach, he would never did that before, was calling me and said, Rudy, Freddie is very ill. We don't know if he can make the whole shoot, because I was known for being a perfectionist and I was redoing takes, do it another one, do another one, do another one. For example, when we did Breakthrough, Freddie had the idea that at the end, all four of them with Debbie Lang run out of the tunnel and jump in the air and sing Breakthrough. Mm-hmm. And of course, the five never did it in sync. So I had to do it again and again, I think 20 times, and I'm sure they all hated me for it. So Jim said, you can't do this with Days of Our Lives. So I remember the very last take, it was the master closer, and was like this. And Freddie was always super prepared. So he was doing everything in sync. It was a perfect take. So it was finished, and I said, okay, thank you. It's a wrap, which means the shoot is over. And thank you very much. And Freddie says, no, I want to do this take again. And I said to him, yeah, but the take was absolutely fine. He says, yeah, but I want to do it again. So I did it again. And for all the Queen fans know, at the end, you have a part where he whispers into the microphone, I still love you. I still love you. And so when we redid the take, he was first giving us the Freddie Mercury that we all know. Then he was falling into himself, so to say, laughing about himself. Then he whispered, I still love you. Then he made the snip, and then he went out of the picture. And I said, okay, thank you. That was it. I didn't realize what was happening at the time, but at home, when I then edited the video, I said to myself, oh my God, this clever bastard. I then knew exactly why he wanted to do the take again. Freddie was so ill that only he knew that this was the last ever take that he will do in front of a camera, in front of my camera, I'm proud to say. And so when he made the Freddie Mercury, he said, I can do this. Then he was laughing about himself, like he would say, you always have to also laugh about yourself, not take everything too serious. Then the I Still Love You was his last message to the fans. And the walking out of picture was the walking out of life. So when I realized that, of course, I was crying in the editing room, but that's the genius Freddie Mercury. Also, until the end, he had the control. So this is what I remember. Until this day, it, of course, makes me sad. But don't forget, Freddie wouldn't like us to sit here and say, oh, my God, we are so sad. He was enjoying life. He said in one of our last conversations, Rudy, I want to enjoy life as much as I can in the time I have. So that was Freddie Mercury.
Ok, grazie. Allora, sappiamo che questi video sono stati girati nel periodo più duro di Super Freddy. Questa cosa si avvertiva sul set o si impegnavano al meglio tutti quanti per evitare di soffermarsi sulla sua malattia?
Okay, we all know that these videos were, they were filmed during Freddie's hardest part of his life. And we wanted to know, was it something y'all could feel while filming, or was everybody just focusing on the video making, trying to avoid focusing on his illness?
Well, this is very personal. And this is why I take the sunglasses up, because it's still only after Freddie passed, I was told that on one foot he didn't have any skin anymore. So each step must have been enormous pain. And if you watch the making of, you see that he has trouble walking. He was, standing most of the time of the video. So he said to me, Rudy, I don't want to have any special treatment. So he didn't want that people have to wait for him. Sorry. Only then I realized, I saw the big superstar in Wembley Stadium, and I filmed him in Naples, the last ever Queen concert with Freddie. I filmed fabulous videos. I saw him being the genius in the studio, singing wise and writing lyrics and music. I knew that he was very, very talented in all kinds of art. He knew a lot about literature, filmmaking, photography. He knew about Chinese art. And now in Sotheby's, you can see a lot of all that stuff. Unfortunately, it's going to be sold. I'm very sad about this, but that's a different story. But then I realized what great of a human being he was. Because imagine you know that you're going to die. You have pain, and you want to record music and film videos, but you don't want the people, that they pity you or that they say, oh, I'm sorry. If you have that grace and that character until the very end, you're a very, very, very special person. And that's what I found out.
Don't cry.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, he's my friend, It's not. I'm not talking about a client or whatever. I mean, I was doing videos with other bands, whom I like, but it was nothing like Freddie. I mean, the process when I say the ping pong between Freddie, the creative ping pong between Freddie and myself in the book. you know, developed certain concepts. And that's also something great about the book, by the way. There is storyboards in there of videos, also partly describing videos where we use the different concept. So the Queen fan can also see other ideas. You know, the song, for example, Invisible Man. You know, there was this concept with a circus, and then you can imagine your own video on the concepts that we didn't film, but which were developed by Freddie and myself. You know? Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's very personal. You know, it's not a job. This is also why my reading tour, I think, is so successful. It's now in Germany and Austria. It will also come to Italy. It will also come to next year to England and America, because it's my heart. It's my heart. I wrote this book with a lot of my heart. It's not a job, and I'm not interested in money. Actually, I'm spending quite a lot of money for the book so that it's like I wanted. But I thought I have to say thank you to one of the greatest men, Freddie Mercury, that I ever had the privilege to meet in my life. And I met a lot of interesting people.
Ok, Rudy. Quando fu l'ultima volta che parlasti con Freddy, se hai ricordi particolari di quell'incontro?
Okay, if it's too personal, we can skip it. But just
No, come on. Yeah.
when was the last time you spoke to Freddie? Do you have any particular memory about that?
Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm sorry. I know he doesn't want to reveal that. All I can say is at the end, Freddie Mercury was limiting his contacts to the outside world a lot. You know, even a very good friends, they couldn't see him. I had the privilege to be in the inner circle. There were a few other people like Dave Clark. Of course, the people who work for him, like Peter Freestone, who is one of my best friends. Then Jim Hutton, etc. But you know, Giovanelli, Dave. But you know, at the end, his home was more like a hospital, and his bedroom was more like a hospital room. And as far as I know, there is no photographs or any documents existing, because he didn't want to be seen like that. You know, I mean, there is examples in the past of famous people who didn't want the audience to see them when they got old, but Freddie didn't want to see his audience how he got weak, and therefore, all I can say is it's interesting that you know it for a long time, and we were never discussing the fact. We were never talking about it. He just didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to talk about AIDS. He didn't want to talk about his expectations. You know, maybe with other people, but I think he was always with me, fleeing into another world, either into the world of making videos or remembering interesting things we did together. Sometimes I was visiting him in Garden Lodge, and we were just sitting, Jim with him, Freddie with a blanket, and we were watching television. You know, we were, and that was it. That was the afternoon. There was nothing sensational. It didn't, you know, Freddie could also be a very regular guy, you know, being in love with Jim Hutton, like a married couple. They were so sweet sometimes. There were also hard times between them, don't get me wrong. But yeah, and he wants us to remember him as a man of life.
Okay.
Ok, allora, prossima domanda. Ti abbiamo visto nelle prove del tributo di Freddy, no? Volevo chiederti com'è stato partecipare a quell'evento unico al mondo e vedere tutte quelle grandi star.
Okay, so we saw you at the, you know, the rehearsals for the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. How was it
Yeah.
like to be there?
Well, this was fantastic. I mean, it was probably one of the greatest filming sessions I ever had the privilege to do. I was directing and producing it. It was actually, I think it was almost 2 weeks in the Bray Studios, I think they're called, outside of London. And to be honest, although the show, the Freddie Mercury tribute concert was fantastic, and I, was co-producer and co-director, but the rehearsals were even better because you could see all the people at the same time: David Bowie, Elton John, Liza Minnelli, of course, Queen, Brian, Roger, etc. It was, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, you name it. And, sometimes they were standing there in the training outfit, private outfit, and eating hamburgers and waiting. It's their time. It's their time to sing their song. It was great. And it was a very, very friendly and special atmosphere. I have a lot of us where everything was like it was with Freddie, but Freddie wasn't there. So I think it was also for a lot of us a very sad reminder that Freddie was now really gone, But it was very special, and I'm very proud. There's a lot of unreleased footage of those rehearsals, at least for 3 more documentaries.
Ok.
Ma quindi c'è, diciamo, le prove integrali senza tagli esistono, Rudy? Una
So
domanda.
the video, the rehearsal video, the uncut version exists, the unedited version of this video exists somewhere.
Well, it exists, yeah. And I hope soon. Again, this is something that I could not release without Jim Beach and Brian and Roger agreeing. Most of the stuff is in London somewhere, and there is the DVD out, but there is a lot of more footage, and I'm sure the fans would love it, to get more of that released, because it was a historic event. It was something that was unique. I'm very proud, and I'm very happy that I had the privilege to be there, and film it for Queen.
Perfetto, Rudy. Ascolta, Rudy, io sono stato a Londra a vedere la mostra di Sotheby, no? Infatti nella tua copertina vedo la camicia di Freddie che era lì a Sotheby. E cosa ne pensi della decisione di Mary di mettere tutto all'asta?
Okay, so my friend Maurizio recently went to London at the Sotheby exhibition. In fact, he did notice that in the picture that's behind you, Fred is wearing one of the jackets that were displayed at the auction. But he wanted to know, what are your thoughts on Mary's decision of selling Freddie's belongings on auction?
First of all, to be honest, I couldn't believe it, because why not create a Freddie Mercury museum somewhere in the world and make all those things not only for an exhibition, but forever, also for Queen fans who come in 10 years and find out about Freddie Mercury. She doesn't need the money. I haven't talked to her about it. I actually like Mary. Yeah, I am, there is Mary haters, and then there is Jim Hutton haters in the Queen fans community. I got on with all of those people very, very well, and they were all, very nice people to me, and therefore I cannot and I will not say anything negative. Jim Hutton was a sweetheart, actually, and Mary was very kind. But why is she selling it? I mean, I know that Mary is also participating in the royalties of Freddie and Queen, so she has no money issues, and there was somebody, I'm not saying the name, but somebody very somebody of the Queen family. I was discussing something that with him, and he said, you know, the sister Kashmira also is participating in the royalties, and she very often buys a piece of art and then puts it in a museum and says, "This is done with Freddie Mercury money," and that, you know, for people, and that's exactly what Freddie would like. He wouldn't like to, you know, that just a few rich people now finally own, you know, those famous things. I'm a little bit sad, to be honest, but I have to talk to her to find out what was her motivation, and it's also probably, of course, has to do what happens with the money, because there will be a lot of money. But I'm not so much the money aspect. I think every Queen fan, like I said, every Queen fan has the right to know my stories, you know, and I wrote this book. Every Queen fan, I think, has more or less the right, or it would have been nice, that he can go somewhere, you know, not only for a limited amount of time in the Freddie Mercury Museum and watch all those things, which are historic. I don't understand it, to be honest.
Mm.
What is your opinion, Maurizio?
Io penso che dovrebbe fare un museo, però dicono che Freddy non volesse fare un museo di tutte le sue cose.
Maurizio's opinion is that he agrees with the museum thingy, but he heard that people said that Freddie wouldn't have liked to put his stuff in a museum. I honestly actually agree with you, Rudy, because I personally think a museum would have been more respectful of Freddie's belongings, because selling them on an auction is like getting rid of stuff. And I mean, it's like doing something while somebody's not here. I mean, everyone has the right to do whatever the heart wants. Okay, I'm nobody close to Freddie or anybody to speak. I'm not in the position to speak about that, but I genuinely think a museum would have been better. But
Yeah, well, you don't have to call it a museum. I would have done, let's say, a Freddie Mercury world. You know, where you know, where it's not a museum, where a classic museum. Freddie maybe wouldn't have liked to have that, but with videos and with all that stuff that you know, and ideas how to make this special, you could have created a place, you know, and then maybe sell duplicates, you know, but but cheap to fans, so they can take their jacket of Life Aid home. It's not the original jacket, but it's, you know, something like that. And then with that money, you know, give it to the Mercury Phoenix Trust or whatever. But you know, it's same thing is, I was very much against, you know, the Whitney Houston estate. You know, I did a lot of work with Whitney Houston and did a very famous film about her, Whitney Close Up. And the estate was selling the Grammys, you know, and I found that this was obscene. You know, why are you selling a Grammy, something that Whitney Houston was winning? I mean, I saw that some of my awards that Freddie and I won were also part of the exhibition and the auction. You know, people, fans were making pictures and they saw my name because it says presented to Freddie Mercury and RUDI DOLEZAL, or to Queen Productions and Doro Productions. I mean, these were his personal awards that I gave to him from the festivals. Why are you selling this? I don't get the point.
just like this one jacket I have, it's identical to one of those Brian May has, but it's a replica. It's not his real one. So yeah, I get why somebody would prefer to make replicas of the jackets. It's more accessible.
Yeah.
Comunque pensare che l'hanno fatto gli ABBA, un museo, l'ha fatto Elvis Presley, l'hanno fatto anche i Pink Floyd in giro per il mondo. Pensare che questa gente qui ha fatto musei e qui non faranno nulla è spaventoso.
Yeah, it's terrifying to think that people like ABBA or chi altro? Pink Floyd, Elvis have museums all over the world, and Queen don't. It's kind of why they should. kind of set us off.
Yeah, I mean, I was proposing many years ago, I think 20 years ago, to Jim Beach, a Queen experience kind of event place, which would have come close to a museum, but unfortunately, you know, the band decided against it.
Ok, tu hai altri progetti nell'immediato futuro e se puoi dirci anche i tuoi contatti per il libro, così almeno abbiamo tutto.
Do you have any upcoming future projects? And if you can lend us your contacts in order for us to reach you for the book, and maybe, you know, for an upcoming book, if you want me to draw in it.
Yeah. No. I mean, I will send you the contacts to the WhatsApp number where I'm communicating. Yeah. WhatsApp is the best way to communicate with me. I give you also my email and the email of my manager. But you can always, you know, contact me direct on WhatsApp. Well, the upcoming project, in the moment, I'm preparing a documentary for ABC New York on the Rolling Stones. And I'm also executive producer on a project about involving Billy Joel for HBO, the big American broadcasting. And I mean, ABC was broadcasting my Whitney Houston documentary last year, and it had 130 million viewers. I repeat, 130 million viewers. Whitney Close-Up. So that is, you know, what I'm working on, and love to have this audience, of course, and make them happy. But I'm also the Italian book will be one of the important things. You know, as soon as it's out, I will go to Italy end of this year and also next year, and maybe we can even do a reading tour through Italian cities. I would love that. I love Italy. You know, Italy is my second home. Yeah.
Ottimo.
Bella Italia. Yeah?
Grazie, Rudi.
Grazie mille. Ecco, per favore.
Ottimo. E niente, allora noi ti ringraziamo per la tua disponibilità e per l'emozione che ci hai dato in questa intervista, veramente. Grazie.
So thank you for your time and for letting us interview you.
Grazie Rudi, grazie di tutto. Veramente.
Ok, grazie mille Maurizio.
Grazie.
I will learn Italian more, so next time we can a little bit talk in Italian language. Ok,
well,
grazie
my
mille.
knowledge is limited, but okay. Danke.
Danke vielmals, grazie mille.
Ciao,
Love you. Viva Italia. Thank you.
Ciao Rudi.